In 1966, radios across America played a song that sounded different from the decade's carefree music. While much of the culture celebrated rebellion and escapes, Staff Sergeant Barry Sadler's The Ballad of the Green Berets honored men who willingly walked toward danger. The song painted a picture of fighting soldiers from the sky, but behind the proud melody stood a difficult reality few Americans truly understood. To become one of the Green Berets was not simply to enlist, it meant enduring some of the harshest training in the world. Failure was common, every weakness was exposed, their burden was heavier than physical hardship. These soldiers carried the weight of impossible decisions. They trained villages to defend their homes, rescued prisoners, and entered dangerous territory knowing they might never return. Their discipline separated them from ordinary soldiers, but it also separated them from ordinary life. Families waited at home while these elite soldiers disappeared into assignments they often could not discuss. One line from the song captured the cost. 100 men will test today, but only 3 win the Green Beret. That was not poetic exaggeration. The mission demanded extraordinary men. America needed individuals willing to carry responsibilities most citizens would never see. Greetings, Patriots. I'm Perry Green, and this is God in America, where we reconnect God and America by telling of His hand in our history. Because when a nation remembers God, freedom has a future. When God called Israel to be His people, He wasn't offering them an easy road. He gave them the opportunity to walk with Him in the spiritual conquest of the world. God included them in His mission to reach the nations under the adversary's control. We tend to miss that detail and think that being chosen by God means being pampered by Him. The Green Berets, Navy SEALs, Rangers, and other elite military units are chosen much like Gideon's 300. They know they will not be spoiled. They are on specific missions that require harsh training, specialized equipment, and internal determination to accomplish. When their task is over, the rewards come, not before. Notice God's call to Isaiah for Israel in Isaiah 49, verse 6. He wrote, "It is too light a thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to bring back the preserved of Israel. I will make you as a light to the nations, that my salvation may reach to the end of the earth." There were times in Israel's history when God prospered them. The prosperity came with their faithfulness. It wasn't given simply for ease and comfort. God blessed the nation to expand in His kingdom work, much like a company reinvests its profits to increase its earnings. The church has a role and identity like Israel's. In 1 Peter 2, verse 9, Peter wrote, "We are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for His own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of Him who called you out of darkness into His marvelous light." I'm sure you caught it. We are His chosen for His possession, to proclaim His excellencies. Like America's elite special forces, we aren't chosen to be comfortable or at ease. We are on a mission. Maybe you felt like Isaiah in Isaiah 49, verse 4, where he said, "I've labored in vain. I've spent my strength for nothing and vanity, yet surely my right is with the Lord and my recompense is with my God." Partnering with God is not easy. The earthly rewards are few, the sacrifices are many. The great 19th century pastor Charles Spurgeon declared, "We are not called to be pampered princes, but to be war-worn soldiers who endure hardness for Christ's sake." This is exactly Paul's conviction in 2 Timothy 2, verse 23, when he said, "Endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ." Sometimes the hardness we endure is due to our neglect of God's mission and turning a deaf ear to its demands. Sometimes it's improving our character through troublesome times. Too often we confuse prosperity and purpose and forget the call. Isaiah was also called by God at birth. Notice chapter 49, verse 1. "The Lord called me from the womb, from the body of my mother, He named my name." God emphasized to Jeremiah that God knew him before he was born. Well, let's play what if. What if God had a conversation with us before we left heaven to come to earth? What if he asked us to volunteer for such a time as this? What if we're on a challenging mission like Isaiah and Jeremiah to call God's people back to him in the spiritual warfare of our time? We would be aware that our jobs aren't just for paying bills and making investments. Our monies are to advance the kingdom. Children aren't just fulfilling a maternal drive. We raise them to be God's kingdom representatives to bring the lost to him. Dirty diapers and messy floors are momentary chores that remind us of something greater. Sometime today, take a few minutes and reframe the repetitive routines of your life into God's purposes to advance his kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. Then act on them with gratitude. Well, thanks for being with us today. Until next time, let's keep the light of God's mission burning.